everyone. Nathan Holiday here, and welcome to a special edition of the Gym Mastery Podcast. This is part one of the COPE productivity system. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while because I've seen the value time and time again, both in my own life and also in the lives of gym owners and fellow entrepreneurs. Because the truth is, as professionals, entrepreneurs, we want real world solutions and ways to navigate the complexities of business and of life. And the question is, how do you get more done with less stress? And the answer is the COPE system. And I do want to be clear because the foundation of these ideas are found in David Allen's phenomenal book, Getting Things Done, which I highly recommend you get and study. But this series will give you everything you need to know to get started simply and easily, make progress towards your goals faster, and lower stress in your life. So systems are like assistants. A full-time assistant will remind you about important commitments and responsibilities. You can imagine they hand you a project file with everything you need so you can work on it. When you're done, you give it back to them, and then you forget about it until the next time you work on it. It's like magic to have a good system, and a good system does all of that and more. And now you could hire an assistant if you have the resources to do that, but there's always the risk that they leave. And when you build a COPE system, you're building an asset. It's something that's with you forever. It's a labor-saving device, an automation, a machine that is refined over time and then starts to pay dividends in the form of time and peace of mind. One of the big problems for people with responsibilities is overwhelm. Too much to do and not enough time. I'm sure you know what that's about. And a good system, a COPE system, replaces overwhelm with clarity and organization, as lame as those two words are. So the question is, how do you cope? There are 4 COPE disciplines that win this game. And COPE, C-O-P-E, COPE, capture, organize, plan, engage. And the C is capture. You want to capture all issues, ideas, obligations into a single location. It's only one place. The O of COPE is organize, where we then clarify what's been captured and we put it where it belongs. And then P is the plan, where we determine what's most important and what should be prioritized. And then finally, the E is engage, where we do the work with focus, with 100% presence. So that's COPE. Each step, right, of COPE, C-O-P-E, is a skill. And we'll be taking a deeper dive into each one of them over the coming sessions. So you don't have to worry about taking all this info in right now, but just get a high-level concept here so you can build a picture in your mind. So C, we're going to take a dive, like I said, into each one of these. Capture. In life, things are always popping up. Requests, to-dos, important ideas that you have. And this can happen continuously throughout your day, pretty much all the time. And they can be pulling you and distracting you, right? It can all be pretty crazy. But rather than dealing with everything all at once or as soon as they come into your life, you capture them. You put them somewhere in a notebook, your phone, task management software. It doesn't really matter, but it must be the same place every time. Now, once you've done that, your brain can relax, right? It trusts that you're going to do it. It knows that this thing, this idea or task is in a dedicated place, ready to deal with when you are ready. And the capture list, your list of things that you're capturing, will grow throughout the day. And of course, some things do require immediate action, but capturing items gets things out of your head and then gives you that peace of mind. Next is the O of COPE, organize. After your workday, you pull up that capture list and you organize everything, right? Even though organize isn't really a sexy word, you've got to do it. You've got to decide of the things that you've captured, what can be tossed out or what can be completed or what can be delegated. And then you move those items like into related buckets and you ask questions like, okay, is this an action? Can I delegate this? When and where do I need to see this next? Everything sort of goes where it needs to go. If you imagine areas of your life and business as drawers, One thing might go into the family drawer while another goes into the business drawer, right? And you do this so you can find things when you need them. This is super helpful, but it takes a little bit of time to get it in place. Next is COPE is P, to plan. Once you've done all of that, you've organized it, that you know where it is, you can see everything, daily or weekly or monthly, you plan. You go high level, you pull back and see the whole picture, and you determine what's most important to work on now. What needs doing by the end of today, tomorrow, this week? What projects need your focus? What do you want in life? Making sure that you're moving towards the things that you want. Planning is a lot of times all about, having your clear outcome and then moving towards that. But you need to be able to see everything. And finally, the E is engage, right? Of COPE, the last letter, engage. The last step, after you decide what's most important, you engage with those things, and the goal is to focus on what you're doing. And this is a skill, which of course does get better the more you practice it. And the engage, you can use things like Pomodoro technique or timers to help with controlling your focus. And we'll talk about a lot of that as we go. Getting these habits up and running is a serious challenge, and it does have the whole project of kind of thinking about getting yourself a COPE system is fraught with friction, lots of friction involved. But when you do build it and your COPE system is a habit, when it's in place, you're going to save time, increase effectiveness, eliminate stress. You're going to feel empowered overall. And over time, these habits are like super habits. They're like superpowers, and they consistently get better and better over time. Things will stop slipping through the cracks. You'll be more on top of it, and you'll be able to maintain integrity with yourself and others because you have a system that helps you. I'll be releasing a podcast in each of the 4 phases of COPE to take a deeper dive so you really get these concepts and you can put them into action. So keep your eyes open for those, and thanks for listening.